Hey there, welcome to another episode of New Zealand's biggest gap year, where a couple of years ago, Robin and I did 365 days of 365 activities all around New Zealand. And in this video, we join Wild Wire for an epic Via Ferrata climbing course up some awesome waterfalls. At the end of the video, we will be going through some of the comments and questions you guys had when we published this video the first time round, so join us at the end.
It is a glorious morning for our first day in Wanaka, and Laura quickly grabs herself a coffee and me a hot chocolate for the sweet teeth that I am, and we are joining Mark and the team from Wild Wire for an epic adventure today. We are going to be climbing the twin falls of Wanaka.
We are in Wanaka with Wild Wire. We are about to climb this 300-meter waterfall.
Absolutely terrified. I thought this was a waterfall hike. So
I'm feeling excited. I can't wait.
So the feeling amongst the groups is a little bit mixed, to say the least. We have some very stressed people, including myself, which is a little bit scared of heights, and some really pumped people, including Laura, which is so excited about making her way all the way toward the waterfall. But our guide today is Mark. He is a know-it-all of the climbing world. He has over 10 years experience of mountaineering and climbing, including even some climbing expedition in the Arctic, which I did not even know had mountains. So needless to say that we are in safe hands today.
The type of climbing we're going to be doing today is Via Ferrata, which is following a steel cable along a route using these metal footholds and pegs to use for climbing. It was used back in the day to get the troops in World War I over the steep European Alps. And Mark is using this very same system to actually climb this huge waterfall. And the really awesome thing about this Via Ferrata system is that literally anyone can do it. As long as you can climb a ladder, you can pretty much tackle this course. So Mark says that even people aged 7 years old to 78 years old have managed to do this course, which is really cool.
It's a really fun parkour style obstacle course that we're kind of doing around the waterfall. We have to pass amongst wires, we have to climb some metal ladders. It's really fun and really challenges us to push ourselves to our own limits. I'm personally really scared of height, but every single time I get another obstacle, I'm kind of really keen to challenge myself and make it through, despite the fact that we are climbing quite high. But we're pretty safe. We literally just have to manage our little calibers that we clip on certain sections of the course, so in case of a fall, we're never gonna fall more than about a meter. Plus, the views are absolutely fantastic. I've never felt like being so close to a waterfall. Today we're doing the tour called the Wild Thing, and despite its name, it's only the medium level challenge that we are tackling on today. There are 3 different levels that are available in Wild Wire, and it goes up to 1,000 meters above the waterfall. Today the Wild Thing is going to take us about 300 meters, but trust me, it's already a real challenge. And it's already quite a challenge. On top of the fear of height, which is from time to time paralyzing me, we have to make our way across waterfalls, on really steep rock cliffs, as well as through a lot of ladders, while managing cables as well as our carabiners, so we keep ourselves safe. There is a lot to do right here, and it really takes a lot of brain power as well as physical power. It's a lot of fun, but at every single step we're feeling a sense of accomplishment. It's awesome. However, some people in our groups are a little bit more scared than others, and it takes all of Mark's encouragement and motivational speak to take them moving. And honestly, he's doing an amazing job, because I'm not the one crying right here, but his words are pushing me forward. And you know what? That is what stopped me from crying and shitting my pants on these really steep rock cliffs.
Meanwhile, luckily, I am not afraid of heights, so I get the time to actually embrace this amazing environment that we're in. The Twin Falls are absolutely stunning, and they seem to go on forever. And surrounding us, we have mountain views, and when we get high enough, we can even see Lake Wanaka. I'm also taking the time to chat to this other girl on the tour called Marika, who is a German working holiday maker, and we're having a lot of fun at the back of the group, sort of shaking some cables here and there to see if it gives Robin a fright, which it does.
Every once in a while during our climb we have some flat section where we take the time to take a breather. It feels great to be able to stop and relax a little bit in between all those ladder climbing and monkey bridging. This is only at those times that I take the time to embrace the place that we are currently climbing on. The waterfall is spectacularly high. It's incredible how tall this thing is, and the views behind us are absolutely stellar as well. It's a true pleasure to be right amongst those elements.
We're about halfway through the trip right now. The view is pretty stunning. Laura and Marika are just chatting together casually, and I'm terrified as hell. And on top of it, we're falling behind because we're taking way too many pictures. So
Maybe I should stop filming and start going.
what she said.
So moving on, we are on to the last section of this climb, and by this point we've really got used to the gear that we're using and using all the carabiners. We've really been kitted out with everything we need on this tour, including a pretty flash harness with 3 carabiners, a helmet, and even a handy water bottle just to clip onto our harness as well. And my favourite part of this whole outfit is the fingerless gloves. I feel like an action hero in these gloves. For me, one of the major highlights of this Wild Wire tour are the multiple crossings that go across the waterfalls because of this zigzag course that makes its way up the waterfall. I love all the different types of bridges we're going across as well, these wire bridges, and then there's classic swing bridges that wobble as we go. And below us we see nothing but the abyss.
I just realized that the waterfall we just crossed is rather the most tumultuous I've seen so far in New Zealand. It's gushing with glacial water.
After climbing for over 2 hours, we are getting much more confident in what we're doing. We are taking the time to take some breaks, taking some sip of waters, playing around with each other. It's a really fun climb from now on. It took a wee while to get used to the climb, to be quite honest, because of the whole feeling of being super high and also being always having to hold on to something not to fall into our doom. But finally, once we are managing that, we can fully embrace and enjoy the tour.
Once we reach the highest point on our tour today, we take the time to have some snacks that are included in the tour. We fill up our water bottles and just embrace these amazing views from the top of the waterfall. Next thing we have to do though is make our way back down. So we're going to be taking a track that Mark likes to call the deer track, literally because it seems to be formed by deers. It takes us along the side of the waterfall, not only giving us an amazing new perspective of where we've just been, but also makes it a lot quicker to make our way back down.
It's only when we get all the way down from the waterfall that we can fully embrace the sheer size of the climb that we have accomplished today. And Mark takes the time to point us out where we went through, which kind of the parkour we did, and how high we actually ended up finishing the tour. It really didn't feel that low, but we only finished the tour about halfway there. So I just can't even imagine what it is like to go all the way up. I can't wait to be back.
Don't you think it's a wild wire? You have to tame it. It's almost untamed.
You're gonna knock me off here.
It's a wild wire.
Nice.
Only in Wanaka. The wild wire needs to be tamed. Oh, relax. Oh, good one. Still shaking. Good one. That's how you tame a wild wire. There's plenty of wild wire to be found in Wanaka.
Oh my god.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and indeed that was a wild wire. Alright, we did have a question from Original Fakeism 1 saying, can one climb this without a guide? So this whole course was actually made by the team from Wild One. That's really hard to say. Wild via Wanaka. So they made the whole course. It's on a private area, so private land, so you can't access it without a guide from Wild Wire. And also, yeah, the guides, they have all the equipment, and basically it's their place. You can't go just do it by yourself. So you will have to book onto a tour, which we definitely recommend. It's a really one of the activities that really surprised us because we didn't really know about it before traveling New Zealand, and we just sort of found out as we went to Wanaka, and we're so pleased that we found something like this because, yeah, normal rock climbing does exist in New Zealand, but you do usually have to have, quite a bit of skill to get to some really cool high places. So although that does exist around New Zealand, this sort of course using the Via Ferrata system makes climbing so much more accessible, so much fun. So we're really pleased that such an amazing activity exists, and especially in beautiful Wanaka. We also had a question, well, no, it's not a question, it's a comment from Why in the World saying, oh, hell no, no way would you see me up on the Wild Wire high places like that. Robin, I'm with you. I'm scared of heights, which is not why I never do zip lining, rock climbing, bungee jumping or skydiving in my vlogs. Yeah, so despite Robin being super afraid of heights, he does soldier on for these 365 activities videos, because obviously there are quite a few high places in New Zealand to experience some crazy activities. So yes, Robin's pretty awesome at just doing the activities anyway, except for bungee jumping. If you haven't seen that video yet, check out when we do bungee jumping in Queenstown. That's quite hilarious. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you do have any questions of your own, make sure to put them in the comments below. Otherwise, you can join us during our live session, which we do at 8 a.m. New Zealand time. And we go through everyone's questions on the live chat about traveling in New Zealand. It's all good fun. And alternatively, you can head to nzpocketguide.com for more information about travelling in New Zealand. It has thousands of articles to help you plan the perfect trip. Alright guys, see you for the next episode.